At Mount Vernon today, a wreath was placed at the tomb of George Washington, commemorating the birthday of America's first commander-in-chief. Washington once said, "Discipline is the soul of an army." That's a lesson a future defense secretary learned on the battlefield. Here's David Martin.
It was 1968, the worst year of the Vietnam War, and Sergeant Chuck Hagel didn't know from one day to the next whether he would live or die.
We lost something like 16,000 dead Americans in that year, in 1968.
His life was in the hands of Lieutenant Jerome Johnson, his platoon commander.
Steady, careful, never excitable, and in combat, that's who you want leading.
Now Secretary of Defense, Hagel keeps a photo of one of their battles together on his office wall.
And, as we're going in, and then it just, everything blew.
While the Viet Cong was trying to kill them, racial tensions, especially after the assassination of Martin Luther King in April, were threatening to tear the unit apart.
It was a terribly difficult racial year in the Army in Vietnam as well, where African Americans and whites were not getting along.
Johnson, now retired and living in Chicago, told his men it had to stop.
Our fight was not with each other. Our whole purpose being there together was to protect each other so that we would all come home safely.
He personalized a little by saying something to the fact that this is not just an order from your commanding officer. This is from me, Jerome Johnson, and you will deal with me personally, too, on this.
Johnson grew close to Hagel and to his brother Tom, who served together and were wounded under his command.
So I guess I considered myself a kind of brother with them.
Did you consider him a brother?
Absolutely, in every good, deep sense of it.
So when do you see him again?
I have not seen them since then.
I admired him so much and liked him so much that I always wondered what happened to him.
Did you try to find him?
I did. When I was in the Senate, I tried to find him.
Did you know he was looking for you all those years?
No. No, I didn't.
Then Hagel got a new job.
As Secretary of Defense, we found him.
45 years after their time in Vietnam, Hagel finally reached Johnson by phone.
He said, "You don't know how long I've been looking for you."
While we were talking, an envelope arrived from the Pentagon.
To my commanding officer, Jerome, with respect.
They will meet this spring in Washington. But right now, the man the Secretary of Defense calls one of the best military officers I've ever known has to pick up his grandkids from school.
Okay, got homework?
David Martin, CBS News, Chicago.